And I'll give the floor to the representative of Algeria.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, I thank Sierra Leone and His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada Bio for convening this important and timely briefing on enhancing regional counterterrorism cooperation in West Africa and the Sahel. I also thank the briefers, the Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, and the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Aliou Touray, for their insightful presentation. Mr. President, the violence we confront today in the Sahel region can no longer be seen as an isolated incident. It has evolved into an ever-expanding and structured threat. Terrorist organizations are extending their geographic reach, enhancing their operational sophistication, establishing connections with international criminal networks, and developing autonomous financial system driven by drug trafficking and kidnapping for ransom. This escalation is largely facilitated by our fragmented collective efforts. Political vacuums and insufficient coordination among stakeholders create conditions for these terrorist groups systematically exploit to expand their influence. Mr. President, my country, Algeria, places the fight against terrorism and its financing at the forefront of its national and regional commitment. This stance is rooted in a bitter and a hard-won national experience in the struggle against terrorism. It is also reinforced by Algeria's pivotal leadership in driving and coordinating the African Union's counterterrorism agenda. It is embodied in the 1999 Algiers Convention, which continues to guide African continental strategies. Finally, it was reaffirmed during our signature event on January 2025, during our presidency of this august body. And it has been further consolidated during our 2 years presidency of the Security Council Counterterrorism Committee, notably through the adoption of what is now called the Algeria Guideline, the Algeria Guiding Principles on New Financial Technologies. Mr. President, this commitment is crucial in our immediate neighborhood, given our shared borders with the Sahel, one of the regions most affected by terrorism. In our view, a collective response to terrorism impacting the Sahel region and, more broadly, the West African region must consider the following priorities. First, no alternative to regional coordination. Various frameworks and mechanisms exist, providing our states with tools to combine actions, to strengthen capacities, and to address this common threat together, not individually. Not individually. Second, improving the alignment of the various security initiatives and platforms in West Africa is essential to strengthen synergy. This objective can be meaningfully advanced by drawing on existing African Union mechanisms, notably CISA, AFRIPOL, and the African Union Counterterrorism Center. These organs, all designed and mandated to facilitate coherence and support collective action. Third, efforts should be united under a common, broad regional strategy supported by all states of the region to ensure effective action and better resource mobilization. Indeed, a shared vision will encourage partners to provide financial and material support to regional initiatives. We are all aware that building trust among political leaders in our region may take time. But the threat that looms over all of us requires us, at the very least, to engage in security cooperation and intelligence sharing, including with bordering countries of the Western African countries. And operational measures such as cross-border cooperation and joint border monitoring must be reinvigorated. Unfortunately, and especially in the field of intelligence, each country still largely acts alone. We are sure that practical approaches offer a pathway to strengthen regional security. We are sure that a more structured, a closer and closer collaboration is needed to generate the collective situational awareness required to confront this evolving threat. Fifth, President, it is equally, as you have stated, it is equally essential to cut off the financial lifelines that enable terrorist groups to operate and to expand. Strengthening financial oversight, combating illicit trafficking networks, and enhancing cooperation on tracing and freezing assets are key steps to dismantling these sources of funding and undermining terrorist organizations. Sixth, addressing seriously, more seriously, the root causes that fuel terrorism must go hand in hand with security measures. Development, yes, development, good governance, and restoration of essential public services are not optional elements. They are an integral component of any effective and sustainable counterterrorism strategy. To conclude, President, Algeria reaffirm our commitment to sharing our expertise, strengthening partnerships, and actively supporting a broad regional response to terrorism. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Algeria for the statement.